What's up, guys? This is Codes.
Matthew Anthony here.
Hey guys, Anammer here.
Hi, my name's Gulp.
Mac Vaughn here.
My name's Winter.
Dom Kane.
Bjorn Akesson.
Julian Gray.
Christian Vance.
The Secrets.
You ask. Horticulture.
Alvin Dad.
Austin Hot.
It's Thursday night, it's 8 p.m, and we're live with Sonic Academy number 4.
Yay.
With me, Chris, and sat beside me is Phil Johnson.
Yes.
Welcome along, everyone, to another hopefully fun-packed and interesting show.
Yep.
What have we got coming up, Phil?
Well, today we have our usual demo doctor, and then we will be doing a Get That Sound on a Sean Tyas. Did we figure out who that was from? We'll figure that out in a minute.
Yeah, I did. I've got it here.
And then we're doing a Fix My Mix as well. A very cool sort of alt pop type track. So that's good. Been working on that all day. So we'll sort of go through that and show you some key elements, and then I'll sort of walk through what I did. So yeah.
We also have got news. We showed you 2 weeks ago, I think it was Node, and we now have applications are open if you want to beta test it. Is that correct?
Yes, you can go to our page. I have that up. Let me just check.
No, you don't.
I don't. Where's all
Well, I'll fill in while you get it. I will. While he's doing that, I will say don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification, and that'll let you know when we're live and we've got new videos. This week on the channel, we have a really brilliant video from King Unique on the Rolly Seaboard block. Go and watch it. He likens it to being as good as a CS80, which he owns, and so he would know. So, are you there yet?
Yeah, there we go. We've got, there's the URL there, sonicacademy.com/beta_tests/node.
I think Brian's going to post the link in the comment section in the chat room. So big shout out to people who are on the chat room. We have got Alex Chervnov, we have got Techalite Music, our moderator on our forums, we've got Loki Official, we've got Josh McCann. Hi Josh, your track's coming up in Demo Doctor. Paul Smith, sir, big shout out to you've got your trackpad the wrong way around. It's really annoying. DJ Emergency.
That's the right way. Like,
no, wrong way.
Apple changed it and then made it wrong.
No, it's the right way.
It used to always be like that.
So big shout out to everybody in the forums, into the ether. You're there. Hi, how you doing? We're going to get over to Demo Talk. What has been floating your boat this week?
I came across I'm going to have to find this again here because
I'll go back to filling. We were totally professional. We have all this. We were talking earlier on about
the guy who
let's do this. So melodies.
Yeah, so basically this guy brute forced every melody through a computer, and so every single melody that is possible, well, not every, because I think they sort of took the most likely ones and did 65 billion potential melodies.
But like how many bars? 8 bars, 4 bars?
I think they kept it to a couple of bars and over 2 octaves. Mm-hmm. And yeah, so they just brute forced all these melodies. The reason being so that nobody can sue anyone else anymore for like melody infringement.
Okay.
Because he reckons that,
But he owns all the melodies now. Does he not?
He owns them, yeah. Technically, he could
sue everyone?
Sue everyone? Well, no. Only future melodies that haven't been created.
Is he intending to sue people?
No, he's made it public domain now, so that he owns the copyright, but made it
Okay.
public domain, so
Okay.
everyone can use the melodies without fear of being sued. Effectively,
This all stems from probably Katy Perry's lawsuit.
it's the Katy Perry thing. It's the
blurred lines.
blurred lines. Yeah,
And-
there was another one as well recently. But
Uh,
yeah, I mean, it is stupid. Like, you know, especially the Katy Perry one. It was so vague in terms of the melody, and like it was such.
There was a vibe that was slightly thing. The song was good. They were a Christian
it was
band.
kind of like you could go, oh yeah, they sort of vaguely sound similar, but you know, to say that Katy Perry copied it, I think is absolute nonsense. I think, like, I mean, imagine if that like entered into the dance world, like how you,
Well, I was saying to you earlier on. I think every trance producer in the world could sue every other trance producer because they keep producing the same melody,
it's
same
just,
sound.
I don't know. To me, it's utterly ridiculous. So hopefully, this is the idea being is that it's going to stop that. So there's a TED talk on it. What is the guy called? Daniel Reel. Is that
Yeah.
right? Or Damien Reel, sorry. So yeah, check it out. It's a really interesting watch on how they actually did it as well. You can watch some of their YouTube videos on how they sort of set
I'll
up.
flick over there. You can see it. That's so. Look for copyright all the melodies to avoid accidental infringement. So, it's look, it's something really, especially because of our background. We're from the era where we sampled stuff, and it was. I remember being
The whole essence of dance culture is based upon sort of remix and rehash and borrowing and
go to the Beatport top 10, and it's old track after old track after old track after old track.
Yeah.
It's just.
I mean,
So-
I think as well, you the first. I mean, we were sort of in it right when sort of sample CDs started like being a thing, like probably the late 90s, and they were all just like sampled from tracks, whatever, and being sold. And no
But
one really...
where's I suppose the problem is where's the line?
Well, I mean, recording can be. You can be sued for infringing recording copyright very easily because the recordings are the same, and that's a very obvious.
If you've sampled.
Yeah, I took that from that.
Yeah, but if I'm doing a track and I'm blatantly ripping off,
Yeah, what's the at what macro level is it? Can you
the
can
Marvin
you see a kick?
the Marvin Gaye blurred lines. You were saying it was
It was groove that it wasn't the melody,
Don't
it
know if
wasn't the chords, it was groove that was the thing that was actually the case.
Yeah, the essence of it was the sort of the drum groove and the sort of that.
Yeah, and that's what they ended up losing on, but which is again utter nonsense as far as I'm concerned.
Anything else is floating your boat?
What else were we talking about?
Electron motorcycle.
Yeah, the Electron.
So let's have a
It's
listen.
an FM,
An FM groove box.
an FM groove box.
And my point to you earlier on today was, what person was crying out for an FM groove box?
I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, you can get. We listened to the demo. You can go and check it out on their site. They have a sort of demo video, and it's sort of IDM glitchy
Yeah, it's
sort of stuff. But I mean, it's quite FM. I can understand having a couple of channels of FM or
Uh-huh.
having the option to load some FM things because you can get some nice sounds out of it. But
Uh-huh.
having a whole group box that's just FM is a bit restrictive in my view.
the to me now they have a sampler version that's come out. So I think this is.
So there's two of these. There's another one.
I think there's a previous model that was a
Right.
sampler, and this is a companion kind of model.
Well, that
so
makes sense then.
makes sense. Is it something that you would buy?
I have far too many boxes that I don't use.
We continue to come back to this conversation of all
We were talking about that as well, weren't we?
all the boxes. I was reading an article today about Caribou, who again was talking about he's friends with Jim Holden and all these guys that really get down to macro level, understanding gear. And he said, look, a hardware sampler may sound slightly better than a software, but the faffing around to get it is
Yeah, I mean, it might have a bit of a character, but it's not going to sound better. The digital converters and stuff in those old samplers.
that has the character.
Yeah, it is the character, but it doesn't. I wouldn't. Does it sound better or worse? I don't know. But yeah, I mean, we were sort of talking about. I think there's two type of people that are that are making music. There's hobbyists who enjoy using gear, enjoy that sort of process of jamming, and I don't think they're that concerned about making tracks and putting out tracks.
On view counts or Spotify numbers, they're not.
Yeah, that's not what. And then I think there's another type of artist, musician, producer who's wants to create tracks, wants the easiest route to making tracks to put out.
Yeah.
And I genuinely think computer. There's it's so much easier, so much quicker to build tracks, and I really don't think nowadays there's any other than the hands-on control. There's any sonic.
They're getting closer.
Yeah, I don't think there's. Well, I don't think there's any major sonic differences that you would say like this doesn't sound as good. There's so many plugins and stuff that sound just as good as
anything.
In the context of a mix, I suppose.
But I think there is definitely a type of person or type of producer out there that wants that FM groove box to sit and noodle. They could be just sitting in.
What do you guys think in the comments? Let us know.
Yeah, guys, there's Van Storks there, Anthony B's there, Fatal Fractions there. Welcome, guys. Welcome along. So, Philip, what are we going to do next? Are we going to have a look at...
Go demo doctoring.
Okay.
Is this demo?
Guys, thank you so much for all the tracks you've submitted.
There was loads and loads this week, so we aren't going to be able to do them all.
What we did do was there's some tracks that actually there's not much we can comment on. There's they're kind of really good and they're there. So we just wanted to say thank you to Van Stork, whose track was in last week.
Yeah,
and we didn't get to, but it was really good.
Yeah, it was really good, and we've got we'll maybe just quickly nip through those after we've got through this week's demos. Yeah, I think we had maybe like 20 in this week. So we're trying to keep it down to 4 and we don't want to like rush through them too much, and if we've got too many, we end up sort of rushing through. So first one is let me just turn my
first one up is Josh McCann. Josh, you're in the chat. Say hello.
Let's go back to the start. Is this it?
No,
that's the A and B waltz.
That's it.
That's it now. It's quite a low level there.
DJ Endro building nice atmospheres.
Yep.
All sounding nice.
I do like that wee riff.
Lovely bass, really just hooking you in. Just you've got the sense now. You're just
love those incidental sounds as well. That sort of paddy sort of like.
So it reminds me of a steel guitar.
That nice wee shakery thing.
Nice, lovely sort of that warm pad coming in.
Do you like to keep something like rhythmical going on in a break? Just
totally.
I mean, the bass like kind of you can still
I'd
find
always,
a groove to that. Like
I'd always listen and go. If I was on a dance floor, would I get the sense of timing? Or are you completely losing the sense of time? And if it needs something, I'd put something incidental in. So here we go for the drop.
Is it gonna happen?
It's probably back to what we said a few times last week. It's all brilliant. It's all really, really good. But there's that one element that's missing. It feels like a backing track at the moment, and it needs the big moment. If the backing I can hear. I was listening to Lane 8 full mix on the way down here in the car, and this would sit perfectly. The mix sounds great. The sound's great. It's missing a riff.
In the stuff you sort of, you listen to quite a lot of the sort of proggy end of stuff. Do you think that sort of arrangement we've got there, which is, you know, intro, midsection, breakdown, like main section, is enough? Did things change more than that nowadays?
It don't know. In his midsection, in his central section there, there would have to be some pickup of a riff or some hint of something.
Yeah.
And you know, these guys, if you go back, Josh, and listen to Patrice Brummel or Lane 8,
I wonder if you said Patrice Brummel in every single.
Probably have,
live.
because I'm like.
And Patrice Brummel, it's more the mixes you're talking about. It's not his tracks.
No,
essentially,
it's his mix.
He's done a Global Underground, and he's done
The Balance series are just insane.
And like, it's a wide variety of stuff, but it is all in that sort of genre. But the you know, obviously it's the cream of the crop, and a lot of those tracks have something really like hooky, interesting.
And the sound design and the hooks. It was kind of the sound design you did for the Techno Pack, that sort of really off-kiltery, you know, the Bliptronica type stuff. So if you go and listen to that, if you listen to Lane 8's, he does 4 mixes a year on SoundCloud, and they're 5 hours long. So it's brilliant tracks. Go and listen to those.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Josh, you've got the production ability there. You know, it sounds really nicely mixed. You know, the sounds are all nice. You know, it's a well produced track. I think we just, you know, and we could say the same thing every week. I think you need to really dig in and look around and see what interesting sounds, you know, are about, what you can come up with, and do more with, you know, the progression in the sounds and how they're being animated, and you know how they build and change.
He's on the chatties. I totally agree. It's missing something for sure. It's just that riff, that hook. I mean, if your foundation's great, so that's done.
I mean, in my mind as well, I think dance music has moved on in terms of arrangement as well. I don't think it's enough to just have intro, you know, first section, breakdown, main section. I think it needs to like drop,
be clever,
do more stuff.
Just be a bit more interesting again.
Yeah,
it's back to last.
If you want to stand out, if you want people to go, wow, that you know, that's something.
Yeah. So we go to the next track, and this is Wilson. Who's this from?
Let me just go to my Wilson
Tremor. Okay.
Oh. Why does that always do that? We've got Wilson on the chat.
I don't know if Wilson's on the chat. Would you say hello? So Josh says, good advice, guys. Thank you. Fatal Fraction says more toms. Somebody says more cowbell. DO5 Music said he would add layers to the bass and definitely add percussion.
See what tempo this is.
Yeah. Which is kind of it can be a thing nowadays with the likes of trance wax and techno DJs playing trance ironically, and they slow it down at the end of their sets in the sort of the 126.
Was trance not like at least 128? What about?
What do you think of that change?
It's a bit rando for me.
Yeah, it's a bit sort of
sounds computer gamey rather than dance floor-y.
Yeah, I know what I mean. Yeah. I
like the way it's been broken up, and you know, there's stuff happening in different sections. It's not just all running.
Yeah.
For me, I'm stuck as to whether where does this get played? Where does it fit in a either a set or in a compilation? What sort of DJ is going to play
Yeah,
this?
I think
Where does it?
when you're producing, you got to think who's the audience and who's going to play this and who's going to promote it. And
We did listen to this earlier, and we sort of said it sounds like that when you walk into a club, the sort of music that's normally sort of playing it before a trance set starts type thing.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean, it's
it's like a warm up type sort of track, isn't it? It's like a.
I can get on board with that. This sounds good to me. As if
Yeah.
something's going to happen. Do you remember like Breeders stuff? You remember?
Yeah.
That sort of like Sasha type stuff.
Yeah,
It was almost around that speed, maybe a wee bit faster, but it was kind of trancey without the top trancey
Yeah.
bits. But it needs to be ballsy. It needs to have that
Yeah,
have darkness and
you're probably taking techno low shizzle elements and vibes and injecting it into that.
Yeah. And is that melodic techno there? Is that what- No main.
What's brilliant about it is there's lots of ideas.
Yeah.
And it's evolving the track and
Okay. The question: if this was on your board, if this was on your on your project, what would you do? Like, how would you go about changing
that. Well, the first thing I would change is the chord change.
Yeah, get rid of that.
It's too as you say, Randa, it's a bit gamer rather than trance or techno, or if it's techno, keep it in one line. If it's trance, make the chords really interesting and have that quirky. Listen to Gabriel and Dresden that can work in this
In that sort of
that
zone, yeah.
that zone. So go and listen to their stuff. And
I think the kick bass combo when it kicks in is too woolly for me.
yeah, you want. What was the Breeder track? Bomb bomb. Duck a bomb bomb.
Yeah, Twilo Thunder.
Twilight Thunder. Go and listen to Twilight Thunder and stuff. It's a brilliant track.
Yeah, I think it's a lot good. I think Twilight Thunder was quite fast, but just that those sounds of just a bit more aggression there. It's maybe just a wee bit too light.
Okay. Thank you very much for that, Wilson. We have who have we got next?
Slade Silva, is that right?
Yeah, Slade Silva. So a different vibe here. Slade Silva is on the chat. He's up.
What is Slade? What is your inspirations behind the track? What sort of stuff are you aiming for? Definitely sort of flumy vibes. That start bit's all perfect. It really sounds like it's.
You've got it.
Yeah,
you've got it.
Sounds right in that on the money in that genre. Really perfect. Just doesn't drop quite right there. It's the bass line. Is there a key maybe?
They do, I think. Yeah, the bass sounds a bit dissonant to me. It's not. You. The notes are probably correct, and what you've got going, all the elements are correct. It's the bass isn't gelling it all together, so it needs to be. I would go for a different bass sound.
Yeah, I think the notes. I think there are some notes that aren't in key there as well. But yeah, normally with those sort of basses, you're really skipping out the mids. There's almost no mid. You've got lows and highs
Fizz.
but there's not really, and that's quite.
Slade is on the chat, said he wanted to do something pretty. I do a lot of techno usually. So look, if if you're normally a techno artist, this is, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I really love the start. It builds up
Yeah.
really well, and it's really nice sounds. I just think maybe try and choose a different bass line.
The vocal chops are great.
That's really nice.
Cool chords, really interesting chords. I'd like to hear that. See the fast attack on the filter there? I'd like to hear that again. That wow. It was a really cool sound. That sound, love that. Like
Yeah, I hear it on each bar.
Wow.
It's not building like an energy enough for me.
Yeah, no, things need to open up and
Yeah.
just more.
At this stage, you should be getting like perfect sound.
Yeah, we need uplifters and more. Come on.
You need to buy Ultimate Effects 2. 3. Is it out yet?
No, come on. I think if
So close.
I
It's
think-
just like that. There's just something about that bass line that just needs to have a tweak. but
and if it
it's-
was there, and if the bass line was there, I would be like, this is
Yeah.
a great track. This is
I really love the Flume track. It's on the FIFA soundtrack. It's his new.
everything you like's on the FIFA soundtrack. That's Phil's only
Yeah.
frame of reference.
I know. That's how I got into like churches and synth pop and stuff.
Is
was
that right?
like, yeah, it was the.
It's a brilliant way to introduce music to people.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, it is all. Whoever does the music director on it is like it's all always cutting edge stuff.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
always really good. Yeah. So, yeah,
Cool.
just a different bass line, and I would as well maybe just slightly brighten up the mix, but. I will say that.
To Slade, who's in the chats, thank you so much for dropping, sending that in. That's a great track. Who have we got next, young Philip?
Mayank.
Mayank. If Mayank's there,
Summer series. Let's see
So
what
let's have a
this-
listen.
what do you think? What sort of track does it look like?
it looks like trance.
You think trance? I think.
What do you
techno.
Techno? Okay. And Mayank's in the chat.
Yeah. Hi. Good solid DJ intro.
I like the sort of froggy cowbell going on there. Pretty cool.
Yeah, I really like the atmospheric stuff. Very cool. This could go either direction. You don't know until the bass line. Could
Yeah,
be like a proggy track or it could be a techie track.
Yeah, the bass line's always defined.
Quite a long intro. What's that? Time wise?
Do you get a time on this? Strange, isn't it? Ah, there's a bass. Okay, so let's have a bass line.
Bass just sounds a bit high up.
The intro to the bass was brilliant,
Yeah.
but the bass disappointed. It is, you say, it's too rounded, it's too high up. It needs to be.
Yeah, you need a sub under that, something to-
boom, boom. You need the pulse. Again, we talk about hitting low,
In
hitting
your
the stomach.
chest. Just like if this is a synth sound, just grab another oscillator, put a square down on the bottom, and
Drop it. It's he's on the chat here, so yeah. Look, I think the groove, the bass part is right.
yeah.
It's working with everything else, but it's just too high.
Yeah, you could also use. I sometimes would just throw on Waves Low Air, And it's basically just an octave, a low octave thing that
Okay.
you could I could even nothing. No, it wouldn't work. I was gonna throw it on the track.
Jason Kirchie says the kick is killer on this. It is. It's really good. Everything
kick too?
It's a kick too. Maniac. Let us know. Maniac. That flow is brilliant. I really like it. But again, this section, I think needs.
Yeah, you're sort of halfway through the track almost.
Yeah, and we haven't had it. We need something introduced there. Something changed. Yeah, no. Do you know what I mean? Reminded me of Sasha's remix of Horse Careful. They're riffing it. I wish we could have a Spotify and just play all these for you and go, listen to that riff, listen to that riff. We should do it. A riff. No, we could do a riff, a course on riffs.
Yeah.
He used Kick 2. Of course he did. So Fatal Fractions asking what settings do you use on the low air? I find the low knob as the low air just sounded distorts.
I guess it depends how low your bass is already.
The original low.
It will add just a lower octave, and then you just have to, be subtle with it. It's just about adding.
It's just like great breakdown. I'm feeling the vibes. You understand it's just a bit loud.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I love all those sounds.
Look.
Yeah. Great track. We're not talking about like a massive like low big sub. It's just a bit more down to get your chest going.
And again, it's back to the Josh thing. Brilliant production, brilliant sounds. Everything's really sweet. I think it needs one other. Somebody said in the comments it needs a section B, a B section. I think it does. I think it needs some sort of change up, a riff or something on top. Your bass, just an octave down, and maybe a B section. One other idea. I don't think it's good. It's enough.
Do we need five ideas to come up with new riffs for your track?
Yeah, could do that.
5 essential tips.
5 attentions
that will change your life.
Honourable mentions go to people that have submitted tracks that we actually think are pretty damn good.
Yeah, so we generally choose the demos based on if we think we've got sort of something to talk about and bits that can be improved.
Yeah.
So a lot of the tracks that don't get on are ones we think these just sound really good. So. And we're just going to play Brassy Crazy
because it's brilliant.
Because it was we really like this track. It is what it is. But
go for it. Do you know what? That puts a smile on my face. I think it's fun. Brilliant.
And we have Van Storks Get Ready, which we didn't play on a previous week, but again, this was because it was already just a really good track.
Yeah, Van, I know you're in the chats, and you were keen last week. It's just because it's a really good track. We've nothing sort of to add. I mean, that's Shaker. Great.
That's pure clubby.
I'd love to play that. I can hear the mix. Lots of ideas going on. Really cool sound design. So cool.
Yeah, good track. Good track.
Oh, broken. Guys on the chat, Deadly Custard, hope you're enjoying your prizes you won last week.
Yeah.
That brings us on to this week's winner. I think we were doing a 50 quid voucher last week, and the winner is Jason Kirchichi. I'm not quite sure. His Desert Island gear, remember we were talking about what's
Yes.
his was
I do.
sub pack?
Sub pack?
Yes. Do you have a sub pack?
No. I've
No.
got 4 18-inch subs.
That's right. Yeah. Can I bit of advice? Sub pack would have been much cheaper. Will is at home sick and he's watching. And he says, "Please mention that he likes them as well." Will, I hope you get better.
He likes what?
Ahi, who
Ahi.
does Ahi?
Yeah, he.
He loves sub packs.
Oh, sub packs. Yes,
Yeah.
that's right. Yeah, he.
I've never used them. Anybody in the chat, people there, look, there's Slade. I use sub pack, love it. So, Jason, you are the winner. You get a £50 voucher to spend.
Yeah. And there's no competition this week because we are going to try and put, instead of it being weekly, we're going to do a bigger one, but monthly, and make it a bit more interesting and stuff like that. So stay tuned for that probably next week or the week after if we get it sorted.
Yeah. So,
Some cool stuff to give away.
Guys, we are going to move on.
Yeah, I want to find out who sent this in. So I'm just going to quickly
I'm going to fill it for the third time
you
tonight.
do some filling.
Yeah, so I'm going to
for a
do this.
second.
I'm going to hit the subscribe. We have also trailer for tomorrow's course with a really big special announcement coming up for the course tomorrow. It is a guy we haven't had on in a long time, and I'm so chuffed to have him back. I'm not going to tell you who it is. I'm going to play the ad when we're ready to play the ad.
This is a good one.
It's a good one, and keep watching to the end because there's a bit of an announcement at the end. I'm really, really excited to bring you this course, and I'm really excited to bring
You can just run it, and I can do this while you.
Do you want me to just run the ad now? Will we run the ad?
And I'll find this while I'm.
Okay, add one or two.
One.
Add one. Here we go.
Hi there, this is JTech. How would you like to see the start to finish process of how I created my 2019 Anjunabeats track, Tiger Lily? Well, now you can over at Sonic Academy in my brand new series of how to make videos. Over the course of the videos, I'll be recreating this song from start to finish, talking you through every step of the process that went into making this record. If this sounds interesting to you, you can access these videos and hundreds of others like them over at sonicacademy.com.
So what about that, lads and lasses? That is JTech, his trance course. He's doing his biggest track of last year on Anjunabeats, which is Tiger Lily. And Anjunabeats and JTech are up for doing a remix competition. They are especially keen to hear and listen to submissions from female producers. So if you have any female producers out there that you know, go get on this. So you watch the course, the track being made. You can download the stems package and the project files. Submit your own remix. The Anjunabeats and JTech will pick a winner, and that winner will get a release on Anjunabeats, the label, which is,
Yeah.
pretty special. We brought you 2 weeks ago. We brought you a remix of Dead Mouse, an official remix, and now we're bringing you Anjunabeats. This content, we're trying our best to bring you the best and hottest content in the world.
I think Anjunabeats pretty good.
Pretty good, so-
I've always wanted to get a track on Anjunabeats and have a field
Yeah,
miserably.
do you know what? We talked about it earlier on going, should we, because I've submitted several tracks to Anjunabeats and they always go, lovely track, but just not right for the label.
yeah.
So,
So yeah, can I do the remix? I'm going to do a remix
So-
under a pseudonym.
Deadly Custard said, put your hands up. Yes, please. Andrew Newcomb, freaking rad. Josh McCann, amazing. Jan Walter, trance remix competition, count me in. It's not even just a trance remix competition. The winner will get released on Anjunabeats.
Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean?
Biggest dance label there is.
I wish we could
Is
get
it the biggest? It absolutely is the biggest. dance
totally.
label, isn't it?
Well, the biggest in that
Spinning.
genre.
Yeah.
Yeah. So guys, that's out tomorrow. Make sure it'll be out probably in the afternoon. JTech is brilliant. Our guy editing, Will, who edits the course, texted me yesterday going, I love having JTech back on. He's just brilliant teacher. And Phil, you found out today, where's he from?
Australia.
Australia. You didn't realise?
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that.
All right.
Are you ready?
I think I am
Okay,
actually ready now.
okay.
So we had Alexei Chernov ask us to get that sound on how to make the super saws from Sean Tyasy type stuff, and that's
So this is Sean Tyas track.
that's really loud probably as well, isn't it?
Have we just blown everybody's eardrums off?
That's the orange one, Sean Tyas. So I'm going to show you quickly how to make
The big fizzy.
the fizzy saw.
I did email Sean to see if he would
ask him to get it from the horses.
get it from the horse's mouth. But he chose to ignore me.
So the first thing is, I would say in these that a lot of the time it sounds like the melody or the super saw is maybe just like this bit. Hold on, let me just.
Excuse me while I have it.
If you know what I mean, that it sounds sometimes like the melody is just the top line,
Yeah.
but to get that sort of that low mid fizzle. So a lot of the times you're sort of adding that in, and that sort of just makes the whole track bigger,
Fatter.
fatter. So let's go into Anna 2 and I'll show you some stuff. Just saws on 9. I'm assuming maybe that Sean's probably used a Varus,
Okay.
Hypersaw Varus.
It's actually, sorry, as Alexei has pointed out, it's Greg Downey's track. It's Sean Tyas' remix.
It's Sean Tyas remix, yeah.
Yep. Thank you. We'll stand corrected.
So the way the Varus Hypersaw works is you have like 2 mono Hypersaws,
Right.
and they just become a stereo.
Left and right.
things. Yeah.
So you would use 2 oscillators here?
So we use 2 oscillators, both
And-
super saws, and then pan them left and right. That gives you a slightly thicker sound because they will just be sort of, again, it's like having 18 effectively.
Okay.
And then we will add just going to use
Is there a particular filter that lends itself to that Varusy sound? Is there one that you always go to?
if you want to get as close to the Varus as possible, the LP12T one.
Right.
But don't use resonance because the resonance doesn't sound quite the same. The Varus resonance isn't as. There's a lot of resonance there that as soon as so you have to be quite careful. But other than that, that's nice.
That, do you know what that actually sounded like there to me? That sounded a bit like Nord.
I mean, that is very. I did a comparison. If you go to Anna and you go to templates, you'll see a Varus template that has this sort of setup already on it.
Okay.
The next thing is, and this is probably the
Key.
the key to the track really is just some distortion, because the track normally you can't really use distortion on a super saw too much, because when you filter it down then it starts to get a bit messy and grainy and you don't want that. Well, you could automate it back, I suppose, but and we're going to use WK.
So you're using wave shaping distortion?
Yeah.
Yep.
That just gives that sort of more aggressive, fizzy sort of body to it. And we'll cut out some of the lows. And then just boost the highs a wee bit.
And you're not adding any noise oscillators?
No, but you potentially could. And then, so you can notice in the original track quite a lot of attack on the notes.
Yeah, yeah.
So one way to go about this is just having your amp env right down,
Right.
and then just
And that's the Varusy type. There's that sort of initial.
Yeah, it has a bit of a click.
Click.
There is a punch control on the Varus, which gives you sort of nice. And, like, so you can have that quite aggressive, and then if you turn up the drive, sort of
Brings it out.
takes it away almost.
It doesn't bring it out.
Kind of the opposites. And then we are going to put a Valhalla vintage.
I've mentioned Patrice Brommel every show. You've used Valhalla.
I've used this every show.
Are you going to use the same preset? Oh, you're using Dirty Plates?
Dirty plate. I just find it to sound a bit more old school to me. That sounds a bit. Sounds more aggressive in the mids.
Right.
And then a plugin that I've been using quite a lot of recently is the SPL Vitalizer, just to give it some of that sort of fizzy.
So with guitar. With
It was good at back and front. Let's see if it sounds what it sounds like.
pull the master a little bit.
That's not too bad, is it?
Well, they're saying here they can't hear us.
All right. That's actually a lot to do. Oh, what else did I put on? Got OTT.
Right.
Not very much. I think I've got more EQ on this one. This is the one I'd made earlier, so. And there is there? I did put noise in it. Yeah, there is noise. So we'll go back. Is that better?
Yes. So you're just adding noise into the sampler OSC.
That's closer there now.
Okay.
And then yeah, we've got a compressor already going on there.
And then ubiquitous side chaining.
Yeah. Again, I've started doing this more often now. I used to be very much along the lines of always use sends for reverbs.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot more recently, I've started putting them on the channel.
Why? What's?
Just for like side chaining and stuff. And I think
It's not efficient.
it's not efficient. But I don't, because I don't have CPU issues anymore, really.
Yeah. I think that, computers are becoming so powerful that we can have loads of Valhallas. Valhalla doesn't take much, does it?
No, it's not too bad.
And it is better sometimes having it on the channel where you can sidechain it and tweak it and sort of. So look, yeah, guys, big.
Yeah, so that's roughly it. So it's all about wave shapers, get a bit more aggressive.
So switch it off and let's have a listen. Okay. That's lovely.
I'll just, while I'm here, show you the basses.
Quite a psytrance-y type kick, isn't it?
Yeah. And again, I did the kick assimilation thing on that to get that kick, loaded it in, matched up all the things, watched the YouTube video on that. That's your sort of subby. And then
Your high mid.
yeah,
Your high
pretty
mid.
standard kind of stuff. But yeah, I thought it was pretty close.
Yeah, so A8 for those
Oh, yeah,
that are watching.
let's-
So Alexei, there you go. Thank you very much for showing it. Sounds very close. I think noise oscillator and vitalizer stuff are something I've missed. So that's Sean. That's Phil. Your kick's more punchy and prominent.
I know. I did a tweak it because it was getting lost a wee bit. But
Sean,
okay, so that's that.
that's that. So, guys, while you get set up for Fix My Mix, we're
Yeah,
going to go into Fix My Mix next. Love It When Filter Down, Pure Nord. I'm going to play the ad again.
You gonna play the ad again?
Why not? We've just secured a remix competition with Anjunabeats.
Yeah.
So why not? I'm going to play the ad. You get set up for Fix My Mix. And we'll
Okay.
be back in 1 minute.
You need to go to the
5
toilet, don't
seconds.
you?
Yep.
Hi there, this is JTech. How would you like to see the start to finish process of how I created my 2019 Anjunabeats track, Tiger Lily? Well, now you can over at Sonic Academy in my brand new series of how to make videos. Over the course of the videos, I'll be recreating this song from start to finish, talking you through every step of the process that went into making this record. If this sounds interesting to you, you can access these videos and hundreds of others like them over at sonicacademy.com.
Is he gonna make it?
I didn't make it.
You're gonna have to make your advert videos longer.
Dear.
we go.
There you go. So,
If you didn't catch that and you're wondering what just went on, Chris wanted to play another ad so we could go to the toilet, but he didn't make it back in time. So
when
now you all know.
and when the ads get made, Chris goes, "Can you make them a bit longer so I have enough time to go to the toilet?"
I think
and
we've
get back?"
worked out it's like 1 minute 30 seconds is what you.
Because
That's 1/5.
that was 1.5, so that's not enough time. so
1:10. I think
maybe
you would make it.
1:15.
Give yourself a bit of time to breathe. Oh my god.
Anyway,
Okay.
Fix My Mix. So,
Okay, we've got a brilliant track in from
who?
let me just see. I'm sorry, I'm looking for the Demo Doctor, 'cause it is in the Demo Doctor as well. Jan.
Jawa.
Jabba, it's over. Guy called Jan, who was very kind, and he's been back and forward sending me different variations of different bits.
Can I just say,
Yes.
guys, if you want Fix My Mix, we send your track into Demo Doctor live at sonicacademy.com.
Yeah.
We will, and you mark it, say, I want this for Fix My Mix, and then send over stems package.
Yeah, say you're interested in doing it, and then we'll get in contact with any of the ones that we think would be good for it, and we'll sort of figure out what DAW you're on. Jan was on FL Studio, so I just got him to send over the stems.
People are asking here what DAW, preferably Ableton. If you're on Cubase, Logic, or FL,
Yeah.
stems package.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the type of track and what sort of needs done. All the parts were fine, so it is just a mix. I was happy just to get the stems out of the way. I've got some synth stuff in there as well. But for the most part, I mean, it helps if it's Ableton, but it doesn't need to be. This was FL Studio, so you can just render out the stems and it's fine. So I'm going to play you the original track, and then I'll just talk through some things that I initially noticed, and we'll sort of do a quick demo doctor type thing, and then we'll start trying to fix some of the issues.
Used to think about you all the time. Used to think about you like that one thing. Now it's like we're going nowhere. Now it's like we got a bunch of nothing.
So a really cool track. But the first thing I noticed when I was listening to it is that the synthy thing is like all the way through, and it's hard to sort of tell where the verse is, where the chorus is, and there's not. And it goes back to kind of what we were talking about with the other stuff in terms of sectioning, making events, and creating zones in the track for different things to happen. There's not enough dynamics there going on in the track, so we're going to try and fix some of that.
So yeah, guys, we were talking earlier on. We don't know whether you, when Phil's doing these things, would you find it beneficial if he streamed it as he was doing it?
Yeah, so earlier on I sort of went through and did the mix, and I'm just going to try and talk through sort of some of the bits, and this isn't my finished mix, but I'm going to try and show you some of the things that I've done, and then in about 10 minutes we'll probably just go to that mix and I'll talk through that. But so one thing that I wanted to do straight off was change the kick, and obviously I've only got stem, so enabled, and it's actually really, really easy to just switch out a kick. So we've just got audio. Hold on, I'll need to switch metric back. It's really easy to switch out a kick. If you ever get a project, you can just right click the audio and convert to drums. And what this should do is go through the track and basically do like a trigger detection on the kick and make you MIDI.
Okay, that's pretty cool. And is it how accurate?
It's not too bad. It'll miss the odd kick here and there sometimes.
Which is strange because it should be, velocity.
Yeah, you'd wonder why.
Yep.
So, and it actually creates a drum rack with a kit in it, but we don't want to use that. So we can go in, you can see the MIDI has lots of bits, but there are a few random bits. There was a few, like maybe there. There's no kick there. There should be a kick there probably.
Okay.
But I'm just going to.
But could you mark up sort of the best 8 bars?
Yeah, you could do that. I mean, because I don't know where the fills and stuff are. It's easier just to keep that and then just listen out for, a missing kick.
That's a pretty handy tip. I didn't.
Yeah, it is actually. I was sort of thinking about it. I was thinking about using Slate Trigger. Then I was thinking about building Kick 3, and then
by tomorrow.
Yeah, let's build a new plugin that does it. So yeah, we'll throw in Kick 2. And the issue with the drum, the kick drum, was it's like got a lot of top and it's got a lot of really low end.
Yeah.
And I kind of want the kick more there. So I've got the kick in the middle, and then I've got my bass and sub down here.
Right. Do you have bass kick or kick bass?
It depends on the track, but in this instance, there's a really good sub. There's a really good 808 sub, and there's a sort of a low mid and bassy bass, and you need the kick. You want the kick was like just like blumonging.
Yeah.
Against that, it was just like blub. So a bit too much. So we are going to use
your secret stash.
Secret stash. So this is a more knocky, middly kick.
So it's more radio than and pop than club. You're looking You're trying to get cut through on. You're probably thinking of iPod speakers and radio plays and
because that's just that interaction between the bass and the kick, and I suppose like listening to what's happening in that sort of genre. And we can still use a bit of the click from the original one, so I'll just throw an EQ on.
So now you're just balancing the two together?
Yeah. And then next I just want to add, I want that snare to stand out a bit more. I'm just going to get it to the full drums. Turn up here a bit so I can. If I've just turned the studio speakers up, if that starts coming through the microphones, let us
know in the
let
chat.
us know in the chat. Shouldn't be too bad. So again, I'm going to just go straight for a reverb on the channel.
Yep.
Because I want to put the sidechain on afterwards. And what reverb?
It's some sort of Valhalla, I would suggest.
There's like a knockiness. Cluck.
Cluck. Yep.
And I want to try and find a reverb that sort of doesn't smush that away
Yeah,
too much.
yeah. It still lets that transient through.
That one maybe. Did we use Dirty Hole earlier?
We did Dirty Plate or Dirty something dirty.
Okay, so that's sort of that. You can hear in that more than the other ones that it's got that
Yeah.
glocky sound that sort of just, we don't want to just. And then I'm going to create a side chain
On the reverb.
on the reverb, yeah.
After the reverb.
And I'm going to actually use the original click. Actually, maybe not. I'll use the kick.
The Josh McCann is asking, do you prefer Vintage Verb over Valhalla Room?
I would have previously said I loved Room better, but I've started using Vintage a bit more. Room probably is wider and gives you a bigger sound a lot of the time. And Vintage is maybe smoother and a bit more vibe to it, a bit grainier or something.
Yeah, a bit more and classic as well, isn't it?
Yeah, so you sort of kind of just have to sort of hear that working there.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's me happy with that for now. Let's bring the bass into action.
I love the band.
Yeah,
You know, the band that's hooky. That is.
I'm going to get the.
If there was a kick 3, what additional features would it include? I can't tell you that.
Would be a secret, wouldn't
I
it?
can't tell you. But it's going to have additional features.
Have I got that on the right channel? I do.
So this is you're now sidechaining the bass
Yeah,
from the kick.
I want it just to go away momentarily.
For the click.
And I want that bass that's sort of more aggressive in the mids.
So do you do that via EQ or
I'm going to use
some sort of...
I'm going to put a saturator on it.
I was going to suggest a kind of like... Oh God, what's the Waves plugin I love?
I'm going to group saturator and then I'm going to create an extra chain. So I've got a dry signal.
Yeah.
I've got a wet signal with the saturator on it. And then what I can do is put an EQ before the saturator.
Yeah.
So I'm only saturating
The
like,
top.
like the bit that I want, kind of. So I'm going to just turn all these other gains off.
So you're making the mid.
Yeah, I'm
not there.
just trying to get the low.
Oh.
Just to give that more woof. And let's bring that in then. Here without.
With. So that's the original,
Yeah.
and this is with the mid. That's nice. That's really nice. It's a more interesting sound as well.
Used to think about you all the time. Used to
We'll bounce those.
It's
And I'll need to put my
Ma.
compressor on after the if. I'm just going to bring the overall volume of that up. Okay, so the next issue we were talking about with the track was the stabs that go all the way through.
Yeah.
And what I wanted to create was a version of the stabs that sort of is like a pluckier version for the verses.
So you're playing the same part, but you did two different sounds.
Yeah,
Just to
so
add distinction.
Say I drop out all these ones for the verse.
Used to think about
So I've created. I did this earlier just because it was a bit quicker. Got Nana 2
Yeah.
and a demo build of Nana 2.
Ooh.
Oh, don't press that button. What's that new
What's
window?
that?
What's in there?
What is it?
Don't do that.
What's it?
Don't do that.
This won't crash.
It might crash.
used to think about
So, Jan sent me the MIDI parts as well for the stab bit. So I've just loaded them into Anna,
Yeah.
made a part kind of similar. It's actually a lower octave.
And very dead mousey sort of, isn't it? It's a lovely sound.
So that is just 8 voices with the D tune really low and 2 octaves, or 1 octave down. So nothing too complicated.
like that one thing. Now it's like we're
So let's just balance those quickly.
used to think about you all the time. Used to think about you like that one thing. Used to think about you all the time.
Reverb's too big for that, but
So who sent this in? Jan, was it?
yeah, is he on the chat?
I just want Jan, if you're on the chat, please hit us up and let us know what your thoughts are on what we're doing. Are we destroying it? Are you in agreement? Are you going, yeah, this is clever?
Yep. So we've got that in, and then let's just work on the vocal. So the original vocal that I was sent had quite a bit of
Used
processing
to
on it.
think about you.
He's there. Hi, Jan.
Used to think about you all
So this is the original. I think it must be like isotope doubler or something on that.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
sure what it is. So I asked him to send me a clean one because I wanted the clean one for the verse, and I quite like the double one for the chorus.
Okay, cool.
So, and let's just look at the stuff that we've got on there. A bit of auto-tune. Quite slow reach-in speed. I don't want too much. It doesn't need too much. And at a higher reach-in speed, it sometimes like warbles out just.
Yeah, you get that sort of
Used to
share
think
effect.
about you all the time.
We got
Used to
Soothe
think
on there,
about you like
doing quite a
that
lot of.
one
So Sooth's
work.
really great for vocals, is
Now
it?
it's like
I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it, and it's like I would normally before I would have went through with an EQ and like put spikes on it and run it up and down the frequency, and then you hear sort of resonances, and then you just sort of duck them out, and you maybe do that 3 or 4 times, and you end up with this like crazy looking sort of EQ thing, and you just put Soothe on instead, and it
And
just
grabs it.
I think what it must be doing. Do you remember? I think it was Spectre did a course on mixing to Pink Noise.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming they're doing something like that in this, where they have a profile, a pink noise profile,
Okay.
and then anything that's like not
In that profile.
in that profile is being
Rejected?
like, rejected or like ducked out. I'm assuming it's something along those
Guys,
lines.
we actually have a course a couple of weeks ago. Protoculture did a course on Soothe, so we have a course on. If you want to know more about it, go and check the site.
Yeah.
www.sonicacademy.com.
I'll have to get myself Soothe too. If Soothe people are watching, Oak Sounds,
I-
get me Soothe too.
I will email Joel. Joel kindly sent us version 1, so
Yeah.
I'll email him.
used to think about you
Yeah,
all
let's see if we can
the
hear.
time.
I'm gonna just turn the vocal up
Used to
so you
think
can maybe
about
hear
you
on.
like that one thing. Now it's like we're going nowhere. Now it's like we got
Love the vocal- the voice.
Really nice, isn't it?
It's really nice.
Used to think about you all the time.
That's quite subtle
Used
what
to
it
think about
what it
you.
does, but it's like a when it's on, you the point is you don't notice it because you're not
You're not hearing it.
You're not hearing it. You know what I mean?
It's sounding correct.
Yeah. Then I've got this. I'm not doing very much here.
Used to think about you all
Tiny
the
bit of
time.
EQ here, and we're
Used to
using
think about you like
the 1176 on this.
Used to think about you all the time. Used to think about you like that one.
And you just have to be careful you don't, because the Brit EQ distorts quickly when you put high volumes into it, so you can ease back on that and then use your trimmer to bring it up on the other
Used to
side.
think about you all the time. Used to think about you like that one thing. Now it's like
You
we're
could hear the auto
going
tune just triggering a bit there,
nowhere.
so maybe slow it down.
Now it's like we got a bunch of nothing.
Lovely voice.
That's really nice.
I
isn't
love
it?
the voice.
So let's just see how that works with the other bits we've got.
Used to think about you all the time. Used to think
The other thing I've got on, and this is set up on my default template, I have got a slapback.
Used to think about you all the time.
And what's
Used to think
It's
about
Valhalla?
you like that
That is
one
Valhalla,
thing.
yeah.
Now it's
You can
like we're
easily do
going
this with anything.
nowhere.
any delay?
Now
Any
it's
delay.
like
So it's just like 108 and 127. You can match them up tempo wise if you want.
So, I'm saying they're you're just doing this by ear. They're not
just
synced.
random. Yeah,
Okay.
sometimes they'll like even make it a bit longer on that side if you want to sort of
used to think about you all.
almost more stadium-y.
Yeah, yeah.
So it just depends how
Used to think about you.
close you want it, and I don't want an awful lot of that at all.
And are you panning the,
Used to
the
think
delays
about
panned?
you all the time.
So it's adding width.
Used to think about you like that one.
Again, what I'm trying to do, especially in the verse, I don't want to hear any reverb. I want it to be quite close.
As you said last week, you don't want to hear the reverb.
Feel
You want to feel the reverb.
Used to think.
Let me see what I've got on.
Used to think about you all.
So that is Verb Suite, but I'm going to change it because I want a tighter. I really like the small room, tight and bright room.
Used to think about you all the time.
Either
Used to
that
think
one
about
or-
you like
I like that. I really like that.
one
That's really
thing.
lovely.
Now it's like we're going nowhere.
Yeah, I think the other one's nicer.
Now it's like we got a bunch of nothing.
It's a nice space that.
Again, you're not you don't want to hear the reverb there. You know, you just want to sort of
Used to
the
think about you all
And
the
are you always
time.
checking in context when you're playing stuff? Is it?
Used to think about you all the time. Used
Am I checking in context? I suppose the more you sort of work with vocals, the sort of more you're able to just dial in what you like.
Yeah,
and
okay.
you end up.
And Jan, a big battle is one here. You've got a brilliant vocalist. She sounds great, and you've got a
used to
brilliant
think about you
hooky
all
vocal line.
the
That's
time.
that's half your
Used
battle
to
is one.
think about you like that one.
So I've got that vocal there. I don't want too much feedback on it, and I also don't want it to get in the way of the vocal while it's playing. So what I'm going to do is throw a compressor on it, and what this will do is just duck out the delay while.
So you're going to sidechain it back on itself.
Yes, so we've got the vocal playing, so that's 20. So we're using 20 as our key, and that will.
Used to think about you all the time. Used to think about you like that one thing. Now it's
So
like
the
we're
delays
going
let go when she's not singing?
nowhere.
Yeah.
Now it's like we got a bunch of nothing.
No, that is probably not working as much as I would like.
Used to think about you all the time. Used to think about you like that one thing. Now it's like we're going
there.
nowhere.
Yep.
Now it's like we got a bunch
So it's completely
of
cut out.
nothing.
Yeah, let's listen to it with.
Used to think about you all
So you
the
can hear that. Like,
time.
listen to the think there. You can hear it sort of starts to muddle up the vocals.
Yeah.
Used to think about you all the time.
Yeah.
You don't really want that, so.
Used to think about you all the time.
Happened there.
Used to think
And then I'm going to just bring some of that into the plate.
Used to think about you all the time. Used to
So it's in the same space as the vocal,
Okay.
and probably a wee bit more. And you could even
So sorry, you're sending the Vox delay
to the Vox reverb.
to the Vox reverbs. Okay.
Yeah.
Used to think about you all the time. Used to think about you like that. Now it's like we're going nowhere.
I'll just get a bit of extra volume going out of that.
Used to think about you all the time.
And I've added the female singing preset on the how do you say that? Eiosis?
Eloises.
Eloises?
Eloises.
Think about you all
Eloises.
the
Eloises.
time. Used to think about you like that one thing. Now it's like we go.
Okay, so I'm going to do one more bit on this, and then I will take it into the final mix and just run you down, because there's a lot of sort of editing and sort of chopping and stuff that I've done in that bit. But I'm going to move to the chorus, and
Felt so great, but it's over now. No, so
I'll talk a bit more about what I did. I edited actually some in the. I'll go into the main mix in a bit, but you can see just at the start there.
Yeah.
so long since we drove around.
It's like
Timing.
you can't hear that
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
particularly easy. So a lot of the time, what I'm doing now is splitting stuff up. Especially if I don't want to go into do a lot of automation, I'll split it up and just eyeball it.
Yeah. 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 Just good.
Been so long since
That's
we.
that's. I mean that's a really simple thing to do, to go in and just and lift it, and you're not faffing about with compressors and stuff. You
Exactly.
just go in, turn
Yeah.
it up,
It's
and
really easy.
and
So you just
you can't hear it.
grab the stuff, Apple E to do the split, and then you can just gain it up.
Okay. Cool.
Been so long.
And then what I want to do here is I'll just show you what I did for the chorus again to try and get a better contrast between the verses and the chorus. I added a harmonizer. So duplicate the track. My current harmonizer of choice is Isotope Nectar. They were doing a sale on it the other day. If you were lucky enough to get it, I think it was 89 quid, and it's normally 259 quid.
What do you think of it?
It's really good. I really like it. I think it's just a bit smoother. I have the Antares harmonizer, or Arvox or whatever it's called. No, I don't know what it's called. But it just sounds really
We
good.
also recently did a course on the Ovox from Waves,
Yeah.
which is more. It seemed to be more of a
It's a
vocoder
vocoder rather than a thing.
harmonizer.
So harmony on this, what we're going to do is we've created a new track, added Nectar on, and we're going to enable MIDI. And we are going to get the time variation, the pitch variation down to 0, because we want them exactly matched up. And then what we have to do is I'm going to create a new MIDI track. Now, initially I'd used the chords from the synth,
Yeah.
and we'll let you hear what they sound like.
So kind of like a vocoder, you have to feed this thing notes to follow.
You can put it into scale mode. So let's just go in and quickly look at that. You can go in and select your scale. We will actually set a scale. The track is in E minor, I believe. So you can set a scale, and then you can pick, if you're not in MIDI mode, you can select what they are going to be.
So they just follow in unison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but we'll enable MIDI, and then it's the MIDI notes that trigger. So we have to go to our MIDI track, select our output down to our vocal, and then it'll show up as Nectar.
Been so long since we. Been so long since we drove around. Felt
We also want voices only, so we don't want the main
Yeah,
voice through.
the
We
carrier.
we just want harmony.
so long since we drove around. Felt so.
So if you look at this MIDI here, there's quite a big separation
In the notes.
in notes. So I, with the power of Magical TV, I did this earlier. So let me just find live stream. Fix my mix. Is it not in there? Why is it not in there? Oh, hold on.
Is it Demo Doctor? I shall fill.
Yeah, do some filling.
I do some filling. That seems to be my job. Guys, don't forget to subscribe to Sonic Academy. Sorry, the YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe to sonicacademy.com itself. Hit the bell notification, and that will alert you when we are live. And when we got new content tomorrow will be JTech's Transcourse, how he made his biggest track last year on Anjunabeats, along with a very tasty Anjunabeats competition. So get watching that, get downloading the stems, and submit your mixes. There's a remix page on the site, open to all registered users. Are we ready?
Yes, we're ready.
cool.
Yeah. So find the MIDI file, and it's basically just a pared down version of that.
squash
So
it
if you
version.
look at that, there's just I've basically moved some notes up, so we can listen to the difference.
Been so long since we drove around, felt so great, but it's over now.
Now you wouldn't want to really hear that like prominent in the mix, but if we mix it in with
But it's like BV. You don't want to hear BVs prominent in the mix.
Yeah.
They're just tucked under to sort of
So-
thicken and.
One I would be closer to. I was blind, now I'm over you. Been so no one I would be close. Been so long since. Been so long since we drove around. Felt so great, but it's over now. No.
Okay, so that's all I'm going to do on that one, and I'm going to load you up the sort of close to finished mix that I did, which we can sort of talk through some of the more structural changes that I made.
And Jan, if you're watching, we can send you back the project so you can see what.
Yep, absolutely. Get a free mix done.
Free mix done. There you go.
Um,
Are you just waiting for that to load?
yep.
So will I fill again?
You do some filling.
Jesus. I mean, you could have all this stuff prepared. Honestly. Oh, there it is now. Yeah, guys. So hope you enjoyed tonight's show. Don't forget, if you want to submit demos for Demo Doctor, it's live at sonicacademy.com. If you want to fix my mix, send it to live at sonicacademy.com. Mark it for fix my mix. If we like the track or Phil thinks he can do something more to the point, we'll ask you for the stems or the project files.
Yep. So, yeah, cool. Switcher-Rooney.
Rooney.
Can't do it. Why is it not switching?
Broken.
What's happened? Did it able to just crash? No,
No,
it didn't.
there you
There we go. So yeah, so some of the structural changes we didn't move anything about. They kept the sort of overall structure the same, but it's about just creating, making the sections different from each other. So I'll play again, just the start of the original. That's my one. Sorry, play the original. So just start straight in with the stabs. Verse, stabs, still going. Chorus, stabs. So there's no just break from that.
Variation,
really.
just
so yeah. So the intro made it more ethereal. Just an auto filter on those stabs.
Just filtering up.
Sweep.
Used to think about you all the time.
Change out the snare.
Yeah, changed out the snare because I wanted to save the big snare for the chorus. So
For
we've got
the
all
drop.
our drums are pared down. We've taken out the hi hats.
So 808 type styley.
Yeah, we've got the filtered down stabs instead of the main stabs. And again, it's just about creating something that we can use to build to another event.
Yeah.
Used to think about you all the time.
Now, Jan actually sent me the new sort of clean vocals, which I hadn't got a chance to put in yet, so they are kicking about somewhere. But these are the original sort of doubled vocals, but I would probably go in and use the clean ones for the verse. and the
the
doubles for the
Of course,
chorus.
just
Yeah.
again,
Used to think about
bit
you
of
all
light
the
and shade.
time.
Yeah.
Used to think about you like that.
And if you notice there on here in this area, I've got them all on different tracks, and that just saves me from automating like reverbs and stuff from between the verse and the chorus. And I've cut out any of the sort of more ethereal bits and put a big reverb on them, and the
chorus.
chorus has got sort of a bit more delay and stuff.
Yeah,
on
so
it.
you've got your vocals on different sections. You can see there. Yeah.
Yeah,
so
and then so we this sort of I'll play you the build into the chorus.
please do. Come on.
We'll look at these vocals here.
See your effects are coming from something called UFX3.
Doesn't mean a thing. Been so long since we drove around and felt so
So what I've done there, like, solo the vocals, I kind of got incrementally less reverb until it did that stop. I actually moved the vocals as well so that they actually landed just before that break. So on the stop, you got one of the last words. Hold on, actually, that's need all these, yeah.
but now it doesn't mean a thing. Been
So that's got loads of reverb. That's got the chorus reverb, and that's the
And then the
verse
break.
reverb.
Really dry.
Really dry, yeah.
I mean, that's a class technique.
but now it doesn't mean a thing. Been so long since we drove around and felt
So we'll just go and I'll show you the difference then between those two sections. So we'll start roughly.
So original.
Yep.
so long since we drove.
Okay.
We'll go our version.
But now it doesn't mean a thing. Been so long since we drove around.
Great, dude.
So
And then
really great.
the next bit that I sort of changed quite a bit was just towards the end of the chorus. The chorus continues on and then it goes into the nice plucky things. But again, I thought that whole section was too long, so I dropped a few elements out before it comes into that pluckiness.
so long since we drove around. Felt so pretty, but it's over now. But it's over now.
So, and I didn't do like loads.
I mean,
But-
it just that's created a moment for me. That's just
Yeah.
There's a hook there, and you're real. It's about making the most of what's there. It's really
events.
milking.
I'm always thinking of
Events.
events in tracks. You know what is happening. You know, like that moment you're on the dance floor, or when you're listening, you can just it gives you the buzz.
Do you love this part of production where it's kind of all done and it's about now?
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the bit I loved. I
Yeah.
loved milking the shit out of stuff. You know, it was like, right,
Yeah.
how can we squeeze the last 20%?
Totally.
out
And
of this?
I genuinely didn't do a huge amount of processing. I mean, on the drums, I've got not much there. A bit of revival, giving a bit of top end glue compressor, doing almost nothing, and then just a bit of limiter, and that was just trying to control the kick from just pumping out the master really. Sub bass, we did that thing that we showed you with
The mids.
the mids, stabs. Nothing much, just a side chain and Anna. The main stabs that were given originally, got a bit of reverb, bit of compression.
And again, I'd like to reiterate: there's not tons and tons of processing. It's about balancing and prioritizing the right
Yeah.
elements. And again, I think what you did most of all was took the vocals and made more of those. Just made, as you say, events out of the vocals. Went verse, make it a bit sort of smaller. Pre-chorus, slightly bigger. Chorus, something a bit different.
Exactly,
And
yeah.
it's just all, and the effects, sweeps ups, the stops, the going dry just before the chorus kicks in. It's all like, that's ear candy, but
Yeah.
it's production. It's
Yeah, I
clever.
mean that's why I really wanted to do this track. 'Cause I really loved the vocal, but it just wasn't doing what it wasn't fulfilling its potential. So hopefully, I've improved that a bit.
Jan is there on chat. He's been very quiet. I'd love to know what you think. People saying, I love how clear your bass is. Nice changes, sounds good. That's from Deadly Custard. Really great episode again, guys. Thank you so much. It's all down to me and my filling techniques. So much air and volume in the vocals, and I love it now. Yeah, look, Phil does these during the day, and then I come down to the studio, and I'm like you guys. I'm checking all the stuff out for the first time, and I love what he does. So brilliant.
Yep. So if you want to send me your tracks for next week, mark it with you're interested in doing a Fix My Mix, and I'll have a look and pick one, and hopefully we can do it.
Guys, would really love to hear what you think of the show.
Oh, there's Jan on.
There he is. Love the changes, the transitions, which I had problems with implementing. Jan.
Cool.
So
well,
there
I'll
you go.
send you over the track when we wrap up tomorrow.
Guys, tomorrow again it's JTech big and Unit Beats competition. You have a chance to get your track on that label. It's incredible. So get your.
I am genuinely going to enter that remix comment.
Yeah, interesting. That's one of what our names will be.
Is it with that? I wouldn't be allowed, would it?
No, I'd disqualify you.
I'm gonna have to do it under pseudonym.
Yeah, you have to do it under pseudonym. So yeah, everyone get your remix heads on there. They are especially wanting to hear from female producers, as are we. We would love if there's any female producers out there you'd like to see on the site, please let me know. Chris@sonicacademy.com.
Yep.
I'm always up for if there's any producer or DJ you'd like to see on the site. I'm always looking and searching, trying to find new guys. We're always testing out people like Slow Magic and all new, and we have our staple of Protoculture and Kirk and King and Eek, but we're always trying to find new guys. So that's it from us. Yeah,
I think that's it. That's a wrap.
That's a wrap. An hour and a half. They are getting longer.
Yeah, well, I knew that would go a wee bit longer with a Fix My Mix, but hopefully I didn't drag it out too much.
No. See us all this time next week, 8 p.m. Thursdays at GMT, and we'll see you for episode 5. All right. Again, what is the button for the outro?
What do we do for the outro?
What do we do for the outro?
Did we play? Why don't we play the track? Why don't we play the track and switch to the screen and then?
Okay. Guys, see you all We're going to play out with a nice soothing song. Goodbye.